Welcome back
Welcome back
to
the long
and short.
of it.
Yeah.
I'm short.
And I'm long.
I'm Deanna.
And I'm Tim.
Cool. We got that out of the way.
Yeah, it was good.
What are we talking about today, Tim?
Talking about everyone's favorite topic.
Boobs. Oh.
Second favorite topic. Music.
Oh, okay. That makes sense.
Could kind of go along with boobs maybe, but mainly we'll be focusing on music.
Cool.
And our experiences with seeing live music, going to Warped Tour recently, the last one. So sad.
Oh.
Until it comes back.
Tear.
Singular. And then any other concerts that we've been to, we'll talk about those and our opinions about live versus not live music partaking.
Studio versus?
Yeah, studio. Going to concerts or not going to concerts.
Yeah. But first,
would
you rather?
Hit me with it.
Would you rather?
Ooh.
I know it's going to be tough.
We'll
get through this.
That was heavy.
Would you rather have all car horns replaced with fully armed bazookas?
Oh.
Or have them replaced with ASMR players? So, I chose this one because I don't know what the heck this means. No idea why these two things were paired together. What is an ASMR player? Is it just like it plays ASMR?
That's just playing ASMR.
Okay.
So it's going to be a really ineffective horn. You get a super effective horn or a non-existent.
But bazookas are violent.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
It's the ultimate sound pressure wave that destroys things in front of it.
If you don't know what ASMR is, it's that those videos that people like do, like they tap nails or they like whisper a lot and they rub certain ew, I don't like the way I said rub, but like they like touch certain things so that it makes a certain sound. Tim's trying to mimic it. Yeah. And that like is supposed to stimulate your audio like senses, just like it makes people like tingle, and it's relaxing. A lot of people do it just to sleep and stuff like that. I have listened to a few. Some they are kind of unsettling how like tingly it can be. Yeah, Tim's demonstrating on this pop filter, so that's good. Hope it's getting you going,
or getting you really tired.
So like in this instance, since it has to do mostly, there's pretty much minimal talking, or if there is talking, it's all whispering.
It's always whispering.
So in this instance, if you're using it as a car horn, you would get nowhere because it would be almost the equivalent of not honking at all. Or maybe you would just get like a lot of like bubble wrap popping or like tapping, or I don't know. But then like a bazooka, like am I
just
hitting
over the top?
Am I hitting my horn and like a bazooka comes out?
Yeah, it comes
out. Or
out.
is it just shooting out of my headlights?
No, your horn isn't connected to your headlights.
I never said it was.
Then why would it do that?
I'm just like thinking about places where they could be stored like missiles.
I'm thinking it's just substituting the horn mechanics for a bazooka. Or just a speaker playing really quiet stuff.
Okay. That seems like it would impair your vision, the bazooka.
Well, just imagine it can still fit in the size of your normal car.
I don't know in what instance this would be, because like would you rathers most of the time are icebreakers or just like good conversation starters with long-term friends,
the deep end
or even
would you rather?
Yeah, this is like what are you gaining
it.
out of the answer? Like, what are you learning about this other person?
It's just stimulating conversation.
Yeah.
Just two things you never thought about.
It's just interesting because all the other times they're always like, would you rather your spouse die first or you die first? And it's like, oh, okay. But then like you get to this and you're just like, okay, I don't know what's happening anymore.
Well, I would choose ASMR.
I would too. Surprisingly. Because I use my horn all the time. If you're ever in Rhode Island and you hear someone beeping, it's me. So, I don't know though, because I feel like the bazooka is just too much. And then
That's
like,
what I'm saying.
have you ever like honked and you were like, you realized afterwards like you were kind of in the wrong? So
no, because I don't honk.
Yeah,
ever.
okay. Well, like I don't think I've ever honked. I gotta commit to honking at someone because like I'm not gonna do it. But there's like times when I want people to just give them a little nudge. So I'll do like a light tap to be like, hey, the light's green. Or like, hey, you're coming out and you shouldn't be.
Mm-hmm.
And like, if a bazooka comes out every time, that's not good. I mean, people would be afraid of me, so they would stay me off the road.
Well, you'd also be destroying somebody's property. And
yeah, I don't want to be that violent.
And yeah, you'd be destroying the road that's in front of you anyway. So I mean, it would be pointless.
I got a loud enough voice that I could do the honking.
Yeah, you could.
I would just, if I really cared.
Yeah.
And I can get my message across by like speeding around someone if I really had to.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. The horn is really important in this state, but
imagine if somebody steals your car. They also have a full-fledged bazooka thrower outer tank.
That would be unfortunate for them. They'd be committing 2 crimes.
Well, what if they knew about you and were like, haha, I'm going to steal this person's car because I can get away with it because they're the only car to ever have a bazooka on it.
Maybe, and also the ASMR one could have like beneficial qualities in terms of like when you're sitting in traffic and you just like lay on your horn and it just chills everyone out instead of making them super aggressive, you know? Like everyone's always super angry in traffic.
Is that such a low decibel?
Well, maybe you're blasting at full volume.
I don't know if speakers could handle that. So you'd have to pump that pretty loudly to...
I'm assuming it's at a decibel that you could at least sort of hear it. Like maybe like 10 on your computer in your earbuds.
That people are hearing it that clearly in their cars?
Yeah.
That's still loud.
I know.
That's very loud.
Yeah. That's how it's lower though than how you would hear a horn.
I know, because ASMR is naturally at a lower decibel.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. Like, it would still
but
be
it would
softer.
take that much amplification that I'm saying,
hey,
like a speaker
this is
wouldn't
already
be
not
able to do
possible.
that.
So I'm gonna go with it's possible.
That's
I don't want it to be
so unnerving.
I don't want it to be nothing where they can't hear it, because then why would this modification matter? They could have just said, would you rather honk and have bazookas come out or honk and nothing happens?
Because it would still be funny for any passerbys while
on the
you're
street,
walking,
I guess.
and they're just like, "Is that car whispering?
Yeah,
I think I hear whispering."
I want it to be like heard, just like softly, where you're like, "Is someone saying something?" And then they like roll down their windows and they're like, "That's weird."
Yeah, I think it would be more unnerving than relaxing, if anything.
Yeah, you know how creepy that would be at night?
Yeah.
Oh, I would totally want that. I would mess with people.
Be like, in the middle of the night, and people are like, "Is that the wind?" And they're like, "No, it's Deanna."
I want it.
Start running.
I would do that. It just sounds funnier. And then like, look at all the like. Is it pulling content from YouTube, or is it like real new content?
I don't know.
That'd be cool.
I imagine it would be pre-recorded. It doesn't have to be from YouTube. It could be from the manufacturers themselves that make it.
It would suck if it had to replay. Like you got to the end and you're like, ah. Like a toy when you pull a string and they only got 3 sayings.
Oh, yeah.
I'm saying like you would get to the end of this playlist of ASMR.
That's why you just honk again. Resets it.
Yeah. But still.
Like the auga honk.
Yeah.
You have to lay on the horn again for it to repeat.
Oh, yeah. I was like, what are you talking about? I thought you were referencing.
There's only a finite audio file of ASMR on the horn, and then you have to bring it in to get a new one.
Well, I just meant in general, like, if it only has a set, like, 10 videos to come from, then I'm going to be mad. And I get to the beginning again, I'm like, I've already heard them cut carrots.
I already heard this person chewing on Pringles.
I feel like I would just do it just for my own enjoyment. Like, I'd be bored sitting in traffic. I'd just be like...
Turn down your music to listen to ASMR to pass the time. You're like, I could really go for some people just like snapping really quietly.
Yeah, exactly. I'm glad we both decided ASMR.
Yeah, it was a pretty quick decision. There wasn't a whole lot of back and forth, like, equal things that I had to weigh.
Yeah, well, because I just wanted to know...
Bazookas are violent and extreme.
Yeah, I really just wanted to bring up the extremity, because...
My extremities. Ah.
Okay. It's aggressive.
Just like a bazooka.
Maybe it meant bazooka bubblegum.
That would be fun.
That'd be like, it just, if we take that, like it shoots a piece of gum, it's not like.
Oh, I thought about making a bubble.
Oh, I was
like you
thinking
lay on
like.
the horn and it's like feeding air like you do with a balloon.
Oh, I was thinking like.
You
Gum
just
gets shot
spitball
out.
a gun.
Yeah.
A gum.
A gun. Yeah, I was thinking
going
like.
to say like a gun.
I was gonna say like the harder or the longer you push, it. Yeah.
Move.
Or or like the longer you hold it down, the bigger the piece of gum that gets shot. So it's like hail.
Oh,
it's either like one little dink or like a meteor.
Oh God.
Either way, if it's bazooka bubblegum, I'm taking the bubblegum. Because then at least even, like, you shoot gum at someone, they'd be like, I'm so pissed. Like, they try to be like, what's up with you, man? You shooting gum? And I'd be like, I just wanted you to enjoy some gum. You look like you needed some gum.
Oh, I thought this would be like pre-chewed gum that like sticks to their car.
Well, yeah, that's
like,
preferable.
Ah, cheese.
That's preferable. Oh my God, if you were spitballing that and it sticks to their windows.
Yeah.
Oh,
I thought
I'd do
that's
that.
what was supposed to be the obnoxious
I was
thing.
imagining like.
Just shooting
like,
dry gum
like
at them.
like
Just
double
hit
dry
them.
gum. Yeah, that's why I said hail. That's why I was like a meteor.
Well,
And
I
it
thought
just,
you just meant like denser pieces of gum that like
Oh,
really
no.
goes like boom.
No, I was thinking like it would vary in brand. Like,
Hubba
and
bubba.
if you did like short successions of one, it'd be like the little dots, and then like, but if you did like a long one, it'd be Hubba Bubba tape.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Bleh.
I like the idea of it being chewed more though. That's more insulting.
Yeah, I thought
And you
that's
could like
what
maybe
that would go
aim
with.
like where if it hits their. I'd probably always aim for their like back windshield.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to do side mirrors. That's too risky. I don't want them
Too
crashing.
scary.
But that'd be awesome. And you could like spell things out.
Yeah.
Like, I hate you.
Yeah.
So, I hate this fly.
The fly.
I hate this fly.
Directed towards the fly. You could catch flies
If
with
I,
a car.
Yeah, if
Shoot
I
gum
could
at
throw
them.
gum at this fly that is currently imposing our space. This is the exact same fly from episode
You'll let me
2.
touch him. He's
Yeah.
getting friendly.
I don't have anything to kill him, so you
Oh, well.
survive another hour.
We'll kill him with would you rathers
Yeah.
till he gets tired of hearing them.
Well,
Well,
on
I'm
to our
glad we
main
came to that
topic.
consensus.
Yeah.
Our main topic, like said previously, is music. Pretty broad topic. So we'll start off by talking about the genres and bands of the music that we listen to and who we saw recently at the last Warped Tour of 2018
Yeah.
in Mansfield, Massachusetts.
So if we want to be broad about it, we mainly
No.
listen to.
We don't want to be broad about
I
it.
was gonna narrow in. Relax.
Well, you said if we want to, and I
If-
was just challenging it
okay.
and saying, no,
Well,
we don't.
To be broad about it, we listen to alternative rock, which is what we say to old people who would make
Not
fun
old
of us.
people, just people, anyone that's outside the realm.
Pretty much anyone. I mean, it's not even false because I do. I would not
Yes.
consider like the main and certain people.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Sorry. I'm stepping ahead of
You're
myself. Anyway,
getting
so
ahead of yourself.
alternative rock, and then it narrows down to pop punk,
Yes.
more specifically.
The main genre that we listen to.
Yeah.
Then there's other ones that branch off of pop punk that have been in the scene recently,
Yeah.
which is why we categorize them as alternative rock, because one of the bands that Deanna just mentioned, the main, isn't really a pop punk band.
It's really more.
It's more of an alternative
They actually
rock band.
consider, they consider themselves like rock, alternative rock, but then they also call themselves emo.
Emo.
Yeah, so I don't know, but and this isn't to say that like we exclusively listen to the genre. It's just like our favorite and the ones that we seek out more often.
Mhm.
But I definitely mix it in with some pop because of my friends. Thanks, Raya, for ruining me.
God.
And
Negative shout out there. Oh my God.
no, I'm kidding. No. There's some good some good jams when you're just driving in the car in the summer, or even like some jazzy stuff too. Or we listen to sometimes instrumental things like Benny Greb.
My boy, Benny Greb.
Yeah.
Shout out to him.
So, and what's it called? Animals as Leaders.
Yeah, they're like a metal jazz fusion instrumental band.
Yeah.
Because instrumental is a very broad topic, because you could be instrumental about any genre.
Exactly,
as long
yeah.
as you don't have
but I just
lyrics
mean like it's not
or vocals.
like we will listen to anything. So we're pretty.
Not country.
Yeah, I hate to be one of those people, but
I'll
listen to some country. I can tolerate some of it. I won't ever seek it out. So I try to be open to most things because
I try to.
Most of my friends listen to pretty different stuff. So
yeah,
it's like, I mean, a lot of people enjoy what we listen to, but also just they open me up to new other things. But
because pop punk's like a mixture of the good vibiness that other pop bands do, but then they have a rock spin to them and different topics and more introspective things to talk about lyrically that resonate with me better, which is why I like the genre more. So there's more to it for me.
It has a bad stigma for being whiny and sexist. It's not great.
You could say that about pop music. Not whiny, but sexist.
Could say both. I would say certain pop music is whiny. Taylor Swift, thanks. Okay.
Well, I just meant nasally whiny.
Oh.
Like, most singers now have that, like, indie voice where they, like, throw their voice all over the place and they, like, slur their vowels together.
Yeah.
To give themselves, like, a low, free-form kind of tone.
Yeah. I would say pop punk is, there are even different levels within the pop punk, because it kind of because some people will range more on the pop side, some people will range more on the punk side, some people will be more on like a grungier side or
a posy side
or a regular, like just a regular rock sound. And I'd say like some bands will try to dip into everything. Like State Champs, one of our favorite bands, kind of started out on like, I guess I would probably classify it as more of like a grungier side, or just like.
Well, they're from New York, so they had like hardcore backgrounds.
Right, and then.
So their vocals are very aggressive.
Yeah, but now they're exploring more of like into the more pop areas.
Mm-hmm.
Don't
always
agree, but it's fine.
It's a trend.
And then there's people like The Story So Far that are pretty consistent in how they sound, but they can also be very yelly.
Mm-hmm.
And
then make some killer acoustic sounds.
Right. So some people, I can understand why people would not like the type of music we like, because it's got so many, there's so many variations that people probably don't get to see, and they pin it as just like the Wonder Years, which is a great band. So, you know, but also very sad. So it's a very classic, like teenage angst band, but
they've changed their sound over the years.
Yeah, definitely.
Now they're more into just like a rock sound.
Exactly. They're not
an alternative rock sound.
They're not their younger days at all.
No.
Anymore. So it's nice because it grows, and you're not getting.
They get older. They want to do new stuff.
Right.
Totally understandable.
It sounds better. I mean, I've been listening to the Maine for 10 years now, actually, or more. No, I think it was around 10 years. I think 10. I said.
Yeah.
Because I think I believe it was their first album. Not they had EPs prior, but Can't Stop, Won't Stop. I'm pretty sure it just had its anniversary of 10 years not today, a week or two ago. And
congrats to them.
Yeah, one of my favorite albums. They've had many since. I can't even name 5 since 6.
2 albums a year.
Well, because they had Pioneer, Black and White, Pioneer.
Oh, here we go.
Forever Halloween, American Candy, and the new one, Lovely Little Lonely. So I think 5. I don't think I missed one, so I think that's about it.
There you go.
But all of them are great in different ways. Like I would say Pioneer took like more an indie route, and then like Can't Stop, Won't Stop was more of a poppy, feel good, bubbly vibe. I love that one. Everyone, whenever you talk about it and people hear about the Maine, sometimes they'll think like, oh, it's like just one of those like boy bands. It's not. It's definitely not. It still had a rock sound. Still is great. And now even more so, they're definitely more on like the rock and roll side. It's very nice. And you can see the progression in their music, how much smoother and everything, how it goes. But they still keep like the same elements and everything sounds cohesive as a band. You can see the progression they took and why it did. So
if you couldn't tell,
this
is Deanna's like longest held band to this type of caliber.
Yeah. I would say the one that I listen to consistently still and have followed over the years and probably know all of the songs. I'd be familiar and could recognize them. I have one of the biggest things for me about music that Tim knows is that I have a very hard time distinguishing songs, even though I will recognize anything, but it is hard for me to pinpoint the name, sometimes even the band, and specifically the worst is the lyrics. I am the worst at understanding lyrics. I don't know if it's my hearing or just how I hear things. I have no idea, or like how I understand things. I just always struggle. But I mean, I'm pretty okay with. And that was actually a band my dad found for me when he was searching for music.
To your dad.
Yeah. And I would say it's the one I kept up with most. It's definitely not the first band I've ever listened to, but
no.
Do you have a band that you've stayed with for the longest?
I don't know. I've been flip-flopping through bands. I didn't pursue my own music till like mid to late middle school, because the only thing I really listened to growing up was anything my dad played on the radio, which was all the classic rock. So that's where I get my rock roots from. Thanks, Dad. Shout outs to dads.
Same with my dad.
Yeah.
You know.
Rockin' dads. And then
Dave Edmunds, stuff like that.
My sister, shout out to my sister, gave me my first album, which was Green Day's American Idiot.
All right.
So that's probably where it all stemmed from.
My sister was really into Good Charlotte when we were kids.
I don't know if my sister was.
I didn't listen to them when she did, but yeah. Good Charlotte she listened to. Yeah. Not Simple Plan. Something Corporate. Mm-hmm. Which confused me when she first told me that she was listening to them. I still remember we were in the car. I was like, "Oh, what are you listening to?" And she goes, "Oh, Something Corporate." And I'm like, "What do you mean Something Corporate?" And she was like something corporate. And I was like, "Do you just not remember the first part of their name?" Because I thought she was just saying like, "Oh, something like it's something."
Oh, it's something.
And
corporate.
she started dying laughing. I was like,
"Oh,
it's what it's called." And I was like, "Oh, sorry."
Something is the actual correct term.
Yeah, I never listened to them actually.
I listened to them a
but they're definitely around that range.
All those 2000s pop, punk, rock bands, like everybody listened to them. Yeah.
I used to be big into Fall Out Boy, which I feel like a lot of people were.
Yeah.
And Panic at the Disco. And now they are much bigger than when I first got into them. Mm-hmm. And even so, when I was into them, my sister was like, they were cool when I was younger. Yeah. She's 5 years older than me, so I got into them my sophomore year of high school, and Panic at the Disco is actually the first concert I ever saw.
Really?
Yeah. It was Panic at the Disco, and Patrick Stump at the time when
took off his shirt.
No, when Fall Out Boy was still on a break. Oh. It wasn't even a break, hiatus, I guess you could say. And it was literally like, I'm pretty sure it was the year after that concert when he was doing his solo stuff, that they confirmed that Fall Out Boy was getting back together. I loved Patrick Stump's solo stuff, so I would recommend it if people are Fall Out Boy fans but have not heard it. It is completely different, much more like, I don't know how to describe it at all. Much more pop, much more electronic, but it's good. I liked it a lot. He's a very good singer, and regardless of what people think of Fall Out Boy today.
If he was so pop and electronic, maybe that's why they made the transition that they did.
Yeah, it's definitely not what people like. I mean, Fall Out Boy was punk, like, back in the day. And I mean, like, whatever. You get sick of doing the same stuff. It's just like sitting at your day job. You don't want to sit at a desk every day doing the same thing. You don't want to make the same music every day. Because I got to play it. It's basically the same thing. You got to play. You got to do gigs. Like, who wants to sit there and tour the same stuff every time? Yeah. And when you're a creative individual, you always want to mix it up. We have the same thing in architecture. We try to deviate from the same type of designs that we do every day.
Well, we also have different projects.
Well, that too helps.
Yeah. If we were given libraries every time, there's only so many times we could make a different library.
Right.
If it was the same site and everything.
But sorry to...
That was a long tangent away from, Tim, what band have you listened to the most?
Well, that's why it's called the long and short of it. I'm definitely the long part.
It's not the... Tim, let me ask you a question and then let me talk about Fall Out Boy instead.
Yeah. Well,
short of it.
Now it is.
Okay. That's our new name.
FOB forever.
Yeah.
Stop coughing.
I would probably say the longest running band that I listened to would be All Time Low. But
oh, yeah.
They've dropped off for me recently after, I'd say I stopped following them religiously by like their Future Hearts album.
Right. That was sophomore year?
Yeah, that was 2016.
Oh.
Yeah.
No, okay. End of sophomore year, end of junior.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I do remember
they
that.
Were taking that transition from pop punk. They were taking the transition and then they put out Don't Panic, which was supposed to be the tribute of like going back to their roots.
I enjoyed Don't Panic.
Oh no, it was fantastic.
Yeah.
And then
I really loved that one.
I think that was the album that was gonna be like cater to our old fans. Now since we got that out of the way, we're gonna transition into the new stuff that we want to do.
What was before Don't Panic? That was the album everyone hated, right?
Yeah.
Oh, God, what was it called?
Dirty Work.
Dirty Work. Yeah. I liked one song out of that. Do You Want Me Dead? That was it.
There were a handful of them. There were still like some.
There were some I'd give a listen,
songs.
but like one that I would like enjoy was Do You Want Me Dead? It was the only one. I love their, because what were their first? There wasn't two. There was only three before that, right?
There was Nothing Personal. There was Put Up or Shut Up.
Yeah, and then there was
So Wrong It's
So
Right.
Was Wrong. Yeah,
Not in that order.
No, yeah, it was Put Up or Shut Up, So Wrong It's Right, and then
EPs.
And then Nothing Personal, right? People did not like Nothing Personal, and I loved that album.
Really?
Yeah.
Everybody in my high school like loved Nothing Personal.
A lot of people.
A lot of great songs came off that.
I like Nothing Personal a lot, and then people did not like that I knew. It's not that they hated it; they just were like, ugh, like it's so poppy and just like
they do have
surface
like,
level.
some very poppy.
I
songs
loved. It was Stella, yeah.
Yeah.
I loved Stella. My one friend and I, freshman year in our English class, would sit there and we were just like obsessed. Freshman year of high school, this is. In English, we'd sit at the back and we would be listening to Stella on repeat together.
Did you guys know that was about the alcoholic beverage?
Totally. Yep.
Yeah?
Mm-hmm. Totally did.
Good. Good to know.
Yeah. That was the class I learned, I read about, Odysseus. And I'm sitting there listening to All Time Low, being like, I can't believe I have to read this.
God, why can't I just read the lyrics to Stella instead?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, they were definitely a huge thing for me because they were the first band that I willingly listened to besides the 2000s pop punk bands, early 2000s.
Right.
And then I think I listened between that time when Nothing Personal was already out and then they started making the singles for Dirty Work. And then I just listened to Nothing Personal and then I listened to their previous discography and then immediately listened to Dirty Work and I was like, I can see why people don't like this.
They were also one of the bands you've gotten on stage with.
Please. Okay, now you're spoiling.
I gotta brag about it. Sorry.
I was going to transition to saying that All Time Low is also the first concert that I really went to in Portland, Maine at the State Theater.
Ooh.
Saw them a few times there. And my friend at the time invited me to go with him and a couple of our other friends that also got tickets. And I was 14 or 15 at the time.
That's pretty young.
Yeah, I had no idea what to expect. And I just remember my first time being in the general admission pit right in front of the stage. Just the feeling of the intense bass and loud everything shook my entire body to a point where I was like, I'm uncomfortable, but at the same time, I love this.
Ooh.
Yeah. It was a very surreal time. And then my ears were ringing for the next 3 days because I've never experienced that before. But now my hearing is used to that intensity because I've gone to so many concerts since then. But fast forward, I think it was 2014, was the first time I got to go on stage with All Time Low at the State Theater in Portland, Maine.
Right.
And the story behind that was halfway through their set, the lead singer, Alex Gaskarth. Shout out to him. Real bro.
I'm going to kill you with all these shout-outs.
I know.
I'm going to be like every
person ever.
Siri, find every shout-out that he says and obliterate it.
Oh,
yeah.
That's sad.
It's okay. Anyway, Alex.
Besides the shout-out, they just opened it up to everybody in the crowd, just being like, who wants to get on stage and sing a song and be a rock star? And Thomas and Tyrus were with me at the time with a group of our friends, and Thomas immediately turns around and is like, get on my shoulders. And before I even know what's happening, I'm on Thomas's shoulders, and I'm just like, I guess pick me because I have no other choice. I didn't even have time to think if I really wanted to do it or not. And so he was picking only, I think, 4 in total, and I was the third choice, but it was going to be between me and this other dude next to me that was also on somebody's shoulders, and he was making us choose, like, which one of you wants it more? And then Thomas, and then some person behind Thomas, it was my ex-friend, pushed me to the front.
Very specific.
My friend at the time pushed Thomas to push me forward to be like, this guy wants to go first, or go at all. And so he picked me, and got helped up on stage.
To specify, Tim's 6'3", and Thomas is also pretty tall, 6 feet.
5'10".
He's still tall.
He's the
decent.
average
He's
height.
not me, 5'3". It's not like I was holding you up. So like,
no.
This is a pretty tall tower.
Yes,
and
it was heavily stacked in our favor.
Tim also has a very kind of similar hair to Alex at the time, probably.
They still kind of do.
Yeah.
It's just flipped the other way.
He flips. Yeah, I was gonna say he also like
my
styles
fringe
it.
goes the other way.
Yeah.
He always changes up his hair too. But got to go on stage, sang the song Time Bomb off of everybody's favorite album, Dirty Work. Still a jammy song.
It's okay.
It's like a
okay with
generic,
that.
like,
Everyone loves
rock
that song. If anyone had to pick a song off of that, that's the one I remember people in high school being like, the only good song is Time Bomb. But I never really cared for it.
Yeah, it was the single. One of the singles. Made a cool music video for it about Iron Man.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That doesn't help. I love Iron Man. Side note. But
shoutouts to Iron Man.
And Robert Downey Jr., my fave.
I was just going to say.
But, yeah.
But yeah, that happened. It was super cool. I had butterflies in my tummy because I was like never been on stage before, let alone with a band that I idolize. And Alex comes around and introduces everybody by being like, oh, what's your name? What's your name? Gets to me. I'm super nervous. And he's like, okay, what's your name? I'm like, Tim. And he's like, Jim? And I'm like, Tim. It's like, Jim? I'm like, Tim with a T. And then he's like, oh, Jim with a J? And I'm like, okay, yeah, you're fucking with me. And I was like, yeah, exactly. And he's like, oh, okay, cool. And then after that, me and one of the girls that got picked got to share a microphone. She was super nervous. I was super nervous. She didn't want to hold the microphone, so I was just holding it. And then she didn't seem super interested in singing a lot, so I was like, okay, I guess
you should have taken it and been like super dramatic and been like, this is my time for a solo.
Well, at one point they like put us on that little riser right in front of the stage to like highlight, like, yeah, give it up for them in the middle of like the bridge. And she like gets down really early, so it was just me, and I was like, okay, cool, I guess this is just how it's going now. And like looking down at my friends and just like making eye contact, being like, do you see how crazy this is? This is crazy for me.
If I saw you, I would have been like, boo, you stink.
Thanks, Dad.
Yeah.
Real supportive friend.
You're welcome.
And then I jumped off the riser because I was feeling that intensity. I was like, song's about to drop, gotta do it. And then I landed partially onto Jack Paracat, the guitarist, and he stumbled over a little bit, and I helped him back up, and I was like, I'm so sorry. And he's like, don't worry, and he's laughing it off, and I'm like, oh my God, could have broken him. On stage, everybody would have been like,
this story is ending with Tim killed Jack Paracat.
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, I got so hyped and I just ninja kicked him in the face.
Oh my God. I would have felt it would have been the story so far. I was taking a selfie and Jack was like, no!
Roundhouse kick.
Oh my God. No. Fortunately, that didn't happen. But then at the end of the song, I got to do the last guitar riff. Alex like fingered it. and I just got to strum it, but it was cool, even though I kind of messed it up, because I've never played guitar, and I definitely have not played guitar on someone else that's playing guitar, and I'm playing it in front of them trying to strum the guitar. It's very awkward.
Yeah.
And I was also still extremely shaky and nervous. And then said thank you to everybody, went to hand back Alex's pick. He's like, nope, that's yours. And I was like, oh, yes.
I was going to say, you got the pick, right?
Yeah, I did. It's still in my wallet. And then shook everybody's hand. I talked to Ryan, the drummer, for a little bit, being like, love your stuff, man. You're a real inspiration. He's like, thank you so much.
Tim plays the drums.
I
think
play the
you
drums.
mentioned that once before.
Yeah, it goes without saying.
Yeah.
And then I get off stage, meet my friends again, and then we're all freaking out. Thomas actually had some other girl take the pictures, I guess, because I think maybe Thomas's phone just either wasn't his smartphone at the time or no one had storage. So he was just like, can you send those pictures to me and my friend? And they're like, sure, which was really cool. And then some of my friends that were there that I didn't even know were there also took pictures, but they were
up high, right?
Yeah. And they were like, oh my God, that's my friend Tim. And I was like, I didn't even know you were there.
This
really
has started a long life for Tim of constantly running into cool people.
Yeah, ever since then.
Yeah, ever since that moment, you've gotten on stage with them, what, 2 more times?
One
more
other time in Lowell, Massachusetts.
Right. But then he has run into band members just conveniently, not on the street, they're always at the event, but it's
you usually don't see the people you're going to see in real life.
Right, you don't see them just casually outside the venue, or which happened to us actually at the first concert we went to together.
Yep, that's true.
Yeah, we were waiting. We actually went to see State Champs and
do a co-headline with Neck Deep.
Yeah, co-headline with Neck Deep, and we paid for the VIP
the
meet and greet with State Champs though.
Yes.
And we were waiting outside the venue in Philadelphia at the TLA. Everyone that goes to Philly knows the TLA. And we were waiting outside, and actually we're waiting for the meet and greet to start, and the lead singer of State Champs, Derek, just goes walking by. I think he had a cheesesteak in his hand.
Yeah.
Very classic. And he was like, hey guys. And we were like, that was Derek? Why is
He's like, hey man, can't wait to see you in there.
It's just one of those moments where you're like, yeah, they're people, so he needed to eat dinner.
Yeah.
But it's super cool, and it's always
they eat too?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Well, I mean, also just even Tim went to Warped Tour 2 years ago.
I went to Warped Tour that same year in 2014.
Yeah, and you
got to meet Derek.
Yeah, that's what
State Champs when they only had their first album, The Finer Things.
Yeah.
And I got to go to their little tent. They weren't even doing a signing or anything. They were just chilling out. And I was like, hey man, love your stuff. And he was like, thanks. And I got a picture with him.
But that concert we went to was over our spring break, our sophomore year of college. And I was super... So this is leading into the whole realm of concerts versus... live concerts versus just listening to it on an album at home. And this is an area where we stand very differently.
Deanna has an unpopular opinion.
I have a very unpopular opinion. I do not like concerts.
Boo.
Yeah, that's okay. But Tim lives for that and has gone to many.
Yeah.
The first concert I ever went to, which I said before, was Panic at the Disco. It was very crowded. It was very hot. We were standing for hours. We were there from 6 until 1 a.m., 6 until midnight, something like that. Had been standing. I had only had 1 bottle of water, and it was nuts. And I'm a very dehydrated person.
Was it on a school night?
I don't believe so. Maybe. Yeah, maybe.
My first concert was on
It might have been on a school night. My friend's mother drove us, and she dropped us off and then picked us up again, and we actually got pulled over by a cop on the way.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, but we all shared 1 bottle of water after, and it was terrible. We all each got a sip, and there was 5 of us.
That's the worst.
And we had to drop everyone else off. So it was pretty hectic. It was a great concert, but it was just I really don't like being around that many people. I'm a people person, but not in that regard.
It's very interesting that the extrovert says they didn't like an environment with a lot of people in it, and then the introvert saying that they love that.
See, I don't like touching people like that. specifically strangers. I don't want you touching
Stranger
me.
danger.
I don't want you running into me. I don't like the roughness of a crowd when they're pushing. I'm like, I just want to be there to enjoy the music, bop a little, whatever. Don't touch me. Don't shove me. It's annoying. And I can't stand like people. And also, concerts aren't really made for me in the sense that, again, as it's been stated 7,000 times, I am short. And there are very tall people that go to concerts, including Tim.
And they get very hot.
Right. They're sweaty people, so they smell the worst. But also just like they're in my view because they want to be up at the front just as much as anyone else, which is fine. But at the same time, it sucks when you're a really short person trying to see the band. It's the whole reason you're there and you're just trying to enjoy the music, but you can't see them. And also like technically it affects the acoustics if we want to get architectural about it, but whatever.
But
we don't. So yeah, when I first went, I was just like, it was overwhelming. It was my first time, and I
first time's always overwhelming.
Destroyed my ears. There was a band, one of the openers destroyed it. Oh my god, I forget what it was. It was a wild band. I've mentioned it to you before. Yeah. He was a very crazy dude. It was funny.
I think it was Cannibal Corpse?
No,
was that it?
It was not.
I think it was Cannibal Corpse.
I forget what it was called. I'd have to look it up. But so they were very loud, and then it was a very good concert. It was just like I got separated from my friends at a certain point, and then I was just like sweaty, and I was super thirsty. My legs hurt, my eardrums were blown out, and I was bleeding. I was just like, I just want to sensory overload. Like I want to leave, I always enjoy like I never have an issue with listening to music just on my laptop, my iPod, my phone, whatever, because it's the clearest I'm ever gonna hear it, and it's produced like in the best spot. Like I always hate when like you can't hear the band very well because like their levels are off or something like that, or there's just like too much bass, which has happened to me before. Specifically, I remember at the Panic at the Disco concert that happened, and
bass destroys your ears.
So
then
like
you only hear high pitch,
and then
vocals.
Sometimes like the singers aren't as good live as you expect them to be, and
can totally happen.
I have a pet peeve with bands letting the crowd sing for too long because I'm like, it just bothers me because I'm like, I want to hear you sing it, not a bunch of like cracked out people.
Cracked out?
Not literally cracked out. No, I'm just saying.
Everyone that goes seeing Panic the Disco, they're on cocaine.
Yeah, no, I just mean like, I enjoy it for like certain parts, but I've seen bands where they will let like them sing an entire verse or chorus, and I'm like, no, I don't want to hear that. And then I like whatever. That's like the least on my complaints. It's like the number one thing is about just like being so close to people, being hot, and people being obnoxiously like pushing into you and all these things. And it comes with, there are certain types of music genres where that's not as much the case, where some people will just stand and be relaxed. But in our genre, it is a big thing to push, shove, and sometimes mosh. And so I had never really sought out seeing any of the bands I liked. I saw Panic at the Disco in sophomore year, and then I think either junior or senior year of my high school year, I saw the Main, which again, there's some pushing, but like since the crowd was mostly like teenage girls and some of their boyfriends, my one friend and I, we went, and he was one of the like 5 guys in the crowd. But it was also paired up with like A Rocket to the Moon. So like we had like a very gentle, like younger crowd. So I was still like hot, and of course people were still pushing, but it wasn't as bad. And the Main was flawless, very good live. But ever since then, as I got more into like pop punk, I didn't really seek out concerts. And Tim, when I met him, was like, nah.
This needs to change.
Yeah, he was like, no, you gotta go. Like, he was always pushing me to go, and I was like, I really don't want to. And then, like, you went to that second All Time Low concert.
Yep.
With Ryan.
I did. Shoutouts to Ryan with Tolo.
Yeah, Miss Ryan. And wow, drop his full name. All right.
Yeah.
And
double R's.
Yeah. So, and he actually brought me back a All Time Low, the pick from either right. I don't remember if it was Alex or Jax. But he brought it back because I didn't want to go. And both of them tried to convince me to go. I did not want to. So he brought that back for me as, a little gift. I still have it. It's taped to a frame that I have, and it's up in my room.
Was that the same concert that State Champs played at that I got you the signed ticket?
I thought that was they played on the same show?
Well,
I thought that was
I'm
a
getting
different.
It's this. It was the same venues, but I don't remember.
I don't know if it was the same
which one
show.
was which? I don't.
Either way,
think
yeah.
I didn't get on stage when I was with Ryan though.
Oh, you didn't? I thought you did.
No, because that was the one where Neck Deep was going to open, but they
Oh.
opened as
So
soon
maybe
as
it was
doors opened.
Well, you've probably been to like 3 different concerts and got on stage twice.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Well, whatever. Oh, and yeah, and that was another instance. Tim tried to get me to go to the State Champs concert, and I was like, I really just don't. And he was like, no, it'll be fine. You could stay at the back. Like, we'll stay with you or whatever, blah, blah. And I was like, no. Like, because that's the thing. Most of my friends will always make the case, like, we'll stay at the back with you. And I'm like, but then you're sacrificing your experience in the crowd that you like because of me, which is not fun. But I also don't really, I don't want to sit at a concert all alone at the back. That's some people's cup of tea, but for me, I like most of the experiences in my life, I like to share with other people. So I was just like, no, like it's more worry than it's worth. I'll hear about it, and like I'm totally fine with just hearing the music online. But so Tim tried to get me to go to the State Champs one, and instead he came back with a signed ticket from Derek, the lead singer, and it was the best surprise at 1 a.m. when he got back to campus, and I stayed up to wait for it. And yeah, he ran into him after the show, and he was like, "Oh, my friend Deanna didn't get to come. Could you sign my ticket for her?" So I have that framed as well. It's next to the all-time low pick that Ryan had caught for me. So yeah, so I was
things that you got from not going.
Yeah,
to the
I got more
concerts.
stuff from not going. So I tried to take that ride for a while. I was like, I really don't want to go. I'm gonna keep telling Tim no. And there was also like the Wonder Years concerts. You've gone to like what, 2 or 3 since
Oh man,
college started? You've gone to like 3, I
I've
think.
gone to at least 3.
At least 3. So the Wonder Years tour, and often enough that Tim has been able to go 3 times, and each time he's like, you should come, and I'm like, I cannot take that crowd. I won't be able to do it. So the first time I ever went to a concert was at the State Champs one in Philly, and that took a lot for me to go. Like, I remember Tim was like...
The incentive was the meet and greet, though?
Yeah, so Tim, when we found out about the tour, was like, we should totally go. Like, we should definitely go. And I was like, well... Like, I had already considered inviting Tim down to my house to stay for spring break so we could hang out and do stuff together. And I was like, well, the tour date is during spring break. And he was like, more reason to go. And we could meet them. And then, like, it'll be fine. Like, I'll be there. And then, you know, it'll be awesome. And it's 2 bands for 1 because it was State Champs and Neck Deep, 2 of our favorite bands. Who opened?
Was it Like Pacific?
Oh, yeah.
Knuckle Puck?
Which I did not like Pacific at the time, and now
their mixing was so off. Like you couldn't understand the vocals. And
I hated
was
it.
Too loud.
But I do like their stuff after listening to some stuff on Spotify. So give them a chance. But they're a little harder than usual. Most bands that I listen to. Yeah, but yeah, it was Like Pacific that started, and because we had the meet and greet, it was super great. All the band members are so much taller than me. They were super chill. Whatever. We got our signed stuff. A
big line for Derek, of course.
Yeah, I got to talk about hockey with him, which I have not mentioned yet. Look how good I've been doing. 3rd episode, and I haven't mentioned hockey.
Good job.
It's fine. I'll get to talk about that at some point. And so we were in the crowd, and Tim was like dead set, like, no, it's gonna be a great experience, like totally gonna make it work. Did not what happened. So
we made it work.
We made it work.
I never said how.
Yeah. So the first band, Like Pacific, was like, like I was like, I'm still not comfortable. Like, this sucks. Because we were trying to get up as close to the front as we could. Because Tim's plan was push your way to the barricade and it'll be fine. It'll be less rough.
Also, State Champs' meet and greet was before Neck Deep's.
No, it was after.
It was after.
So we got to just stay on the floor.
Right before the concert started, so we literally only had like a line of people in front of us.
Right.
Front.
But it wasn't close enough, apparently, because it's still, specifically with Knuckle Puck, is again... Great band, but very rough crowd in terms of, like, for me.
Very high energy.
Yeah, like, people get into it. They're definitely a little bit more... Like, I don't know if it's
how many times
punky.
are you going to say heavy?
Yeah, I didn't want to say heavy. I would say, like... They're not heavier,
they're more
but
punk.
Yeah, I would say
they're a lot more punk elements.
Because they're less poppy. That's what I'm just trying to say. They're not as... Yeah. But whatever. Doesn't matter. The crowd's just a little bit rougher than any of the other two bands we were seeing. Even Neck Deep, which people could say is on the border. But, so, I was like a little bit nervous for them to come out, but I was like, whatever, like, it'll be great. So, Tim's standing behind me, because he's taller, so he didn't want to be. And then like
I was also trying to help mitigate the
right.
crowdness by keeping my arms spread.
Yeah,
So
Tim tried to create like a bubble
us.
Around me. There were like it was like a hoop.
Yeah, it was like a hula hoop.
It freaked me out at first because I thought it was someone like coming up behind me because like someone's arm kept hitting me, and it was because people were shoving into Tim's arms, trying to create a bubble around me. Because one of the hardest parts for me is that since everyone's taller and sweaty and everything, it becomes hard to breathe at a certain point.
Yeah, you do really suffocate.
Like, I really lost some, like, prime breathing time. I felt like I had to, like dip up for air.
Yeah.
And it just, like, it got so intense with, it was Pretense that came on, I specifically remember. Because I was, like, the first few songs in, I was like, all right, like, I think I could do this. Like, it's annoying. And, like, I'm getting shoved. Like, I have no control of my body. And that's, like, a feeling that most people describe as like what they love about concerts. Not for me. I don't like feeling powerless like that. It's very annoying. And it was just like offsetting my experience because like I felt like I had to focus on the movement rather than focus on the band. And I couldn't enjoy it. And
imagine that with the fear that at any moment in time somebody's going to be landing on your goddamn neck.
Yeah.
From crowd surfing.
Because that was our other thing. Philly in particular is a little bit rougher, we found, than going to the Boston area.
I've had some really sore necks from my Boston.
That's true, but you did say that Worcester was much calmer than the Philly concert because people were rude. Not in terms of the concert, but just the people shoving.
People are a little bit more respectable, but I would say when they get into it, Boston definitely like crowd surfs a lot.
Yeah.
And there's just big bulky guys that just huck people instead of crowd surf.
Right. I just remember when we were at the Philly one, you were like, people were kicking. Why were they kicking?
Yes. No, I would definitely agree that people were more aggressive in that sense.
Yeah. That's more what I meant. So we were... I didn't really have that much of an issue though with the crowd surfing because I was too far down.
Yes, exactly.
I was too much shorter than it, so it wasn't hitting me or anything. But like... We got to like Pretense and people just smashed together. Like I literally was like, my arms were against my chest, like couldn't move. And I was smashed face first into the biggest dude, into his armpit. Okay, we were two bands deep. They were both pretty heavy. This guy was so sweaty. Everyone was hot. Like it was spring. It's not like it was summer, but it was still hot. We weren't wearing jackets to the venue. It's still an enclosed
space.
Yeah,
with a lot
and
of
like
bodies.
so I was like,
proximity,
and right before this happened, I was like, all right, like it's not great, but like I think I could do it. I can make it to state champs and Neck Deep. Like I could do it. And then as soon as that happened, I was like, I am 1000% out. Like I'm not doing this anymore because I was just like, I'm not gonna be able to enjoy my two favorite bands. Like I'd rather stand alone. And like at the back where I can breathe and like hear the music instead of not focusing on these other things. So after that song ended, or after the band ended, I survived all of Knuckle Puck. And afterwards, Tim was like, "I'm surprised you made it that long." And I'm like, "Me too." And
I'm dipping.
Yeah. So when it was done, I turned to Tim and I was like, "I'm gonna go to the back." And he was like, "Oh, you mean the bathroom?" And I was like, "No, I'm not coming back. I'm staying at the back." And he was like, "Yeah, I know." And then, so I went and stood at the back and...
So I did exactly what I said.
Yeah.
I stood in the back.
Enjoyed my fresh air. And the headliner was Neck Deep at the time, yeah? So State Champs came out first?
State Champs was first.
Yeah. So, because that was the thing. I was pissed because I wanted to be up close to see Derek and the band. But I was like, I'm not seeing it anyway because people were in front of me and shoving me out of view and girls' hair was getting stuck in my mouth and it was insane. So I was just like, I'm not going to be able to see them anyway. I might as well just stand at the back. So that's what I did. And Tim stayed at the front. He came back in the middle of what? Neck Deep?
No, I came back halfway through State Champs.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Oh.
It was like their last 2 or 3 songs. I was like, I'll come back because I got my fix out of it.
Oh, yeah. So...
So I was back for the entirety of Neck Deep, and we saw everybody disperse.
Yeah. So it was nice, and I was fine, because I was like, whatever, Tim can do his thing. But that was like, it kind of just proved my point of why I said I didn't really care for concerts. So I have always, at least I gave the crowd a chance. But now every time we go to concerts, I do not go into the crowd. I stay at the back routinely,
totally
and
fine.
I typically go, the past 2 concerts that we've been to, I haven't made sure, it just kind of conveniently worked out that someone else was with me to stand at the back with me. Specifically, we went to see Neck Deep again with Seaway and my roommate and one of my best friends, Val, she was there with her sister, and we stood at the back, and then we actually sat at an upper level in seats, and I was like, this is the height of luxury. And
thank God they have these.
Yeah, it was amazing. And then we could just stand up whenever we wanted or sit down. It was awesome. And Tim got to enjoy time with his friends in the crowd. And I do enjoy the concerts every now and then, but they're definitely not a routine thing for me. I could do like 1 or 2 a year, maybe. And I'm never going to really enjoy that crowd aspect anymore. Even at Warped Tour, I stayed at the back.
Yeah, we can talk about your first experience at Warped Tour.
Yeah, so Warped Tour is a big music festival that
Yeah, for people that don't know Warped Tour, it's essentially a multitude of concerts going on at once. And you have different times at what bands go on what stages, and you walk around and you see all of whatever ones you do want to see. Go to their merch tents, because they're all scattered throughout. Great food, just hella expensive, and a lot of interesting people are there.
Yeah, and it's a what? It was like $56.
Yeah.
So I've always been like, I've never wanted to pay for it because I never found. First off, I had never sought out concerts because I didn't think they were that important to me. And when I was younger, there were like people that went that I knew, but I just was like, whatever. And like I never thought there were like enough bands that I cared about. But and then like in the past 4 years, Tim has tried to get me to go every year with him, but I was just like,
Well, not junior year. Junior year was the terrible lineup of Warped Tour.
Junior year we could not go, and I was not going to go. Yeah,
no one wanted to go.
So
we all rappers.
Yeah, but then this year the lineup was released, and so this year was the final Warped Tour because the
Kevin Lyman, the big
head,
man,
the director, I guess,
done.
He doesn't want to do it anymore because it's too much work.
Like over 20 years.
Yeah, I mean it's a lot of work going across the whole country, so
managing so many bands,
right?
Making sure everything goes swimmingly.
Although it is speculated that they will still continue Warped Tour in a different manner.
Well, yeah, I'm sure people are just gonna pick it up and just do East Coast, West Coast.
Yeah, but
sorry, Midwest and Mideast.
Yeah, whatever. So we saw the lineup, and we knew we were gonna be here for the summer because we were gonna be working. And it was a killer lineup. It was many bands that we were interested in.
We saw 8 bands in total.
Grayscale, The Main, State Champs, Knuckle Puck, Movements,
Mayday Parade.
Yes, we did say Mayday Parade. We watched As It Is. Oh, Simple Plan was there. With Confidence we saw, even though we're not big fans of them. And
we went for our friends, and then we went to see Water Parks for
Water Parks, which is also...
We're already at 10 bands, so I lied about seeing 8 bands, but...
Yeah. Well, I didn't see The Main, technically.
Well, yeah.
We heard them from afar. Yeah, I had to make a very tough decision, because multiple bands are on at the same time, and Grayscale, which is currently one of my top favorite bands, was going on first, but so was The Main. But I had already seen The Main before, so I had to make the decision to see Grayscale because I didn't think I would ever seek out their concerts just because... I mean, like, I will eventually, but...
But the opportunity was right there.
The opportunity was there, and I knew they would also have probably a rough crowd at an individual concert, so I was like, oh, it's perfect, and all my friends are here, so it works out well. So, I feel like we saw someone else, but... We were going to see Don Bracco, but we didn't get to.
Right, because Movements went on.
Movements went on at the same time, and we had to see them. Oh, we saw We the Kings.
Yeah, we did for a little bit.
We got to sing Check Yes, Juliet.
This Wildlife.
This Wildlife, they were good too. I do enjoy them. I think that was mainly it.
Sleep on It.
Oh, we did see Sleep on It. They were pretty good.
Yeah. Didn't know the lead singer was from New Hampshire.
And we also saw that one girl band that was like really loud. because we went
They
to...
were cool.
Because basically what happens is you park in a giant parking lot, you walk in, you get inspected for your bag, and then you go immediately to whichever band you want. So we started at Grayscale, and
all these stages are like pop up. They're not like in their own stadiums.
No.
It's all in a parking lot.
It's all in a
all
parking
open.
lot. And they're like
So you could
inflatables.
just
There's like
hear
not that the
music.
stage isn't like they are standing
Yes.
on solid ground.
Yes.
The thing around them.
They're in a pool.
Yeah. So the first one we went to was Grayscale, and they told us that their meet and greet, like their autograph signing, was at 2 p.m. So we automatically planned to go to that because
Us too. Us too.
Yeah, out of like the 8 of us.
Yeah.
Only 3 of us went to go meet them. And so we're really excited about meeting them. And it was great. They're a Philadelphia-based band, which is very good on my part since I live very close to Philadelphia.
Mm-hmm.
And they love the Philadelphia Flyers, which I do too. Well, they love all Philly teams, specifically the Eagles, which this will go over so well with our Patriots fans. So they support the Eagles, and it was a killer year for them. And then they're big Sixers fans, so a lot of their merch actually caters to that. But whatever. So I know that they're big Philly fans. So I had my Flyers hat on me at the time, and we didn't have anything for them to sign. They actually were giving out free posters, but I was like, guys, I should totally get my hat signed. So now I have a hat signed with all of the Grayscale's members' signatures.
Mm-hmm.
And when I first brought it up, I was like, oh, like, could you guys, I want the poster, but like, could you guys also sign my hat? And the one band member was like, I'll sign that any day.
Oh, yeah.
He was so happy about it. Especially when we saw Warped Tour in the Boston area, so I don't think they were really expecting it. They did give a shout out during their set, though, to the Eagles, even though we were there, and they were like, we do respect the Patriots, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, yeah, but like, So we saw that. It was a very hot day.
That was the second time I got to meet them.
Oh, yeah, it was the second time for Tim. I'd never gotten to. So it was very nerve-wracking. We got a picture together.
Mm-hmm.
It was very nice. And we also got a free bag for them, too, because if you're one of the first 30 people to their tent, and you asked when you bought something, you got it. So
it's a tote bag.
Yeah.
It's not a shopping bag or anything.
Yeah, it's a sack.
Yeah.
And we both got shirts there, and that was the only merch it was the only merch I bought that day.
Mm-hmm.
Tim also got a trash boat. Because that was the other thing. We did some trash boat.
Trash boat. I was thinking there was another band.
I thought so too.
Because we kept going to that one stage.
Yeah, the Owly one. But
Trash Boat was there. I got to meet the lead singer of Trash Boat.
Yeah, he shook his hand, and he bought a cool dog shirt.
Yeah, it's real nice.
So it was our day at Warped Tour is go to a stage, apply sunscreen, sweat all the sunscreen out, go get more water at the hydration stations, reapply sunscreen, go back to a stage, enjoy the music, go get food, go get water, reapply sunscreen. That's pretty much our whole day. It was 90 degrees. It was hot and sunny.
Yeah.
There would be, well, it was partly cloudy, so there was some breaks and there was a nice breeze going. But
early on, it was
unbearable.
Drenched in our own sweat.
Yeah, we pretty much were soaked within an hour, I'd say. And we had already fully sweat out our sunscreen. None of us got sunburned, though. With all that sunscreen, we cranked that out every hour. So
yeah, we did a good job.
But it was definitely worth it. I wasn't uncomfortable since it was hot. A lot of people just kept their distance. Unless you were at the front, people weren't shoving. So it was like the perfect atmosphere that I want in a concert. Of just like...
Well, I'm glad.
Everyone enjoying it. Yeah. What was your favorite?
I was just going to ask you that question.
Ooh.
I don't know. Trash Boat was really awesome for me.
I did enjoy
because I never got to see them live, and they were probably one of the bands I was expecting. I was the most hyped for.
Right.
Since they were the band that I have not seen live before. And they did not disappoint.
Well,
they were really cool.
My favorite was obviously Grayscale. But
Grayscale was also very awesome.
It was very good. Very, very, very good. And it was the beginning of the day, so it kind of sucked. Because I was like, this is what I was waiting for all day. But
we can leave now.
What I was going to ask is, what was the one that surprised you the most? Because we did
Surprise how?
You could choose, good or bad. Because we did see multiple bands that we didn't really plan on seeing. It was just convenient because we had no one else to see at the time. Oh, we also ended, while Tim's thinking about this, we ended it with Mayday Parade, which... I'm assuming anyone that's listening, except for maybe family, would know Mayday Parade. Just, you have to know, like, Miserable at Best, or something. So they're kind of a sadder band. They're great, and they're kind of an oldie but a goodie. I haven't really kept up so much with their new stuff, but we ended with them, and it was very fitting because since it's technically the last Warped Tour, as they're still calling it now, it was nice ending with them because it was very nostalgic and brought us back.
Yeah.
So it was nice. The Simple Plan set was also very funny because it was a lot of older people. And then
I was gonna say
it was the widest age range. There was a lot of people younger than us, and then there's a lot of people older than us, and we were like the middle ground, and because like it was basically like teens, 20-somethings, and then like 40-somethings. It was like a big jump, and it was so funny because they were talking about how they started in 1999.
Yep.
And we were freaking out because they were like, yeah, I bet a lot of you probably weren't even born yet. And we were like, oh my God, that's so true. Which technically we sound so obnoxious because we're only 4 years old.
Oh my God, only 90s kids would remember
we're
this.
We're only 4 years older than that. But still, it's weird to think that people were there that were born in 2005.
I know.
So, like, they couldn't even fathom it. And this is like, it could have been the first time someone ever heard of Simple Plan.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
So it was a little unsettling because we were definitely surrounded by people younger than us. And I bet you most of them were probably born after 1999. So it was interesting, but they killed it. So,
well, yeah, any kid that's not going into college this year was born after 2000.
Right. Do you have your...
I was going to say in terms of like surprising amount of like people and energy would have been Simple Plan.
Yeah.
Just for the same reasons you brought up. And just like how quickly it filled up even around us because we were so far away from the stage and they really grabbed like everybody's attention. I think really cool live.
My surprise was Movements actually, because while we had listened, well, you're more into them than I have been.
I've also seen them before.
Yeah.
And like it felt like they were consistent in their band performance live.
Right. I would say, I want to say Movements only because they sounded so good. Like, it sounded like their studio album that I listened to. And it was so clear. I love when the vocals are clear. Tim knows that one of the most important thing for me in music is vocals, which is, you know,
the most important thing is vocals, but you can't understand the lyrics.
Yeah. But my most important part for me is, like, if I can't stand the singer's voice, I will not listen to the band no matter how much I like the music in the background. So... Well, yeah. That has nothing to do with Movements. I was just saying in terms of like, I could hear him crystal clear. I could understand him. It sounded exactly like how he, like, it didn't sound synthesized at all. Water parks. And so it was,
sorry, Thomas.
It was good. It was, well, it's okay. But
he knows.
It was good. It was feel good. And it was like later in the day. So it was like the heat was breaking and it, like, they have some more mellow sounding ones. So
they're very...
It was relaxing.
Mellow.
It was putting me to sleep almost.
Putting me to sleep. And then they threw out those pink balloons.
Oh, that was the most exciting part.
Yeah,
the only video I took all day was, I don't know if they threw them or like the crowd just had them. Well,
I'm sure they supplied them.
Right. But I mean, like,
when the chorus drops, throw out these fucking...
It was so cool. These
balloons.
a bunch of pink balloons were just thrown up into the crowd and bounced around on everyone. And it was very awesome. It was very, like... because it just made the track sound even more floaty.
Yeah. And
then also someone started shooting out bubbles. Yeah. And they were like puffing like smoke or something, like pink smoke and like fogging them up and stuff like that. It was very cool.
I was very surprised.
And that was the second to last band. We saw Movements and then Mayday, moved immediately to Mayday. So it was a very eventful day. Mm-hmm. I enjoyed it. But yeah, so I don't know.
It was a very good time.
I'd say
it was a very good, solid Warped Tour to quote unquote end Warped Tours.
Right.
Because got everything that I probably wanted out of it as a person that's gone 4 times now.
Yeah, it was my first.
Yeah.
Because I never wanted to pay, but definitely worth it.
But when you see over
definitely
8
the time
bands,
to go. Yeah, I mean, when I saw
paying like less than $10 a band.
Right. Exactly. Because that's the thing. Most of the tickets you pay are probably like $30 to $40 minimum, and that's for one band that you really want to see, and 3 other bands that are probably just openers that you care slightly less about. So seeing so many within 12 hours is perfect.
Yeah.
Condensed, did it all at once. Now I don't have to do it for another year. Don't have to see another concert.
Got it out
for
of my system.
quite some time.
Thank goodness.
The only band, is there a band you wish you went? Because I can think of one.
I don't know.
Can you name the one? Because I got like top 5 bands right now, and it's up there with Grayscale. My 2 top currently. I mean, Neck Deep and State Champs are all time, but and the main obviously. I would say these 5 bands are my top. Are not in any specific order currently, but Neck Deep.
I was going to say
State
Neck
Champs.
Deep for me. State Champs was there.
No, I'm saying top 5 bands in general. Not that we should have went. So top 5 bands in general for me are the main, Neck Deep, State Champs, Grayscale, and there's a 5th. You don't know it?
I'm blanking.
Well, the band that I would have wanted there would have been Moose Blood.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's some discrepancy about that, but
I would have.
I think they're on tour in the UK right now.
I believe they're on tour somewhere.
Not in America, so they weren't able to.
Well, it's fine.
Yeah.
I still would have wanted them there. Would have been great.
Yeah.
Would have really topped it off for me to see Kill 2 Birds with 1 Stone. Because that's another band I wouldn't want to go.
Kill 2 birds with 1 stone.
What?
It sounded like you were naming off a band. Like,
oh, no.
Would have been really nice to see Kill 2 birds with 1 stone.
Oh, no.
It's like,
so I wanted...
That's a deep band.
Because it's another band I probably would never go for their crowd. They're also on like a emo-er side. But
they had a very fun crowd when I saw them. They weren't moshy. They were just like really
I guess they wouldn't because except for their old stuff like with Bukowski. But their new stuff is like way more mellow. So
well, not just mellow, it's just like more of like a dancey instrumental to them. So people weren't like moshing because it's not knuckle puck.
It's good to know.
They just have like a feel good, slower, open groove to them.
Yeah, they're more.
They're sad.
They're more on the rock side, but they're sad.
And slower. But
I love it. It's so nice. It's really good. I love the sound of his voice, so.
Oh, yeah.
But I digress. We could talk about it.
It would have been cool to see them. Would have been cool to see Neck Deep again.
Okay, yeah. 3rd time's the charm.
Yeah. They were a really energetic band live.
Yeah, they're really good live.
Unfortunately, Ben's vocals kind of suffer live because a lot of the songs
doesn't bother me.
Can't really.
He always sounds like kind of yelly for me anyway. So once his voice is strained, it's fine. It doesn't bother me.
Well, it's not that it's strained; it's that he just literally doesn't hit the notes.
Well, yeah,
or that he just like goes down an octave instead of.
It doesn't bother me. I thought it would, but it wouldn't.
Oh, didn't I show you the like acoustic videos that they do, and it just like sounds really off? The ones before their new album. I'm pretty sure I did.
I don't remember them. I'm blocking them out of my memory.
They were very cringy.
Well, okay. Besides Ben, the rest of the band is very, very good.
Very solid.
They keep up the vibe. It's really good, and sometimes they mix it up a little bit, just in terms of how it sounds. So it's nice.
What do you mean?
I was just thinking, like, in terms of like sometimes bands. I don't know if they specifically. I thought they did it, but they'll change up the speed of the song. And that
happens.
They also threw in. I like Neck Deep's choices in which songs they play, their set list.
They always throw out the bangers.
Oh, nice. Yeah, they
bangers.
They definitely do, and like they played Head to the Ground. They do a good pacing, but
they do.
Again, I digress. Talked a lot about everything, so
yeah. Well, I'm glad you had a great time at Warped Tour.
Yeah, thanks.
First and last.
Yeah.
Go out with a bang.
It's good.
Maybe they'll do some other summer thing that isn't called Warped Tour.
Maybe.
Where they just get, like, any bands in the vicinity.
Yeah.
Is Ryan texting you?
No.
Okay.
But I am late, technically.
All right. Well, that's all I wanted to cover anyway. We got out our concert stories.
Want to end with a simple would you rather?
We could end with a simple would you rather.
Yeah. Let's see.
One that's easily discussed.
Yeah, this is perfect because there was one.
Peanut butter or jelly?
Oh, did I not write it? Oh, yeah, I did write it down. Would you rather make out with a turtle for an hour?
Yes.
Or become a turtle for a year?
Become a turtle.
Yeah, that's what people online said.
Yeah.
But like...
What kind of turtle are we talking? If it's a snapping turtle? Like, am I making out with a snapping turtle? Because they don't like that. Is it a box turtle? Because their heads are kind of small. If you're, like, making out with it, you're just, like, eating its head.
Yeah, I feel like...
It's a little sad and a little gross.
Yeah, it's just I'm like, not into that bestiality. Sorry.
Not into
You're just torturing
kissing
it.
toads.
And like,
okay, they can be princes kissing. You know,
at least if like I was a turtle for a year, I could slow down, enjoy
that's
life.
what I'm saying. You know, just hang out by the lake, really
Yeah.
appreciate nature for a year.
Oh, am I wild turtle? I couldn't be a pet turtle. Could I choose?
I think I'd rather be a wild turtle.
I
See
don't
the
know.
world.
Yeah, with my slow legs. What am I seeing?
The lake.
One lake. I guess I could swim.
What do you see, Deanna? One house.
I guess I could swim faster than I could walk.
Yeah.
Can
You
all
hang
turtles
out
swim?
and you can
Is that a
hang
dumb
out with all
question?
your turtle friends. Can they swim?
Can all turtles swim?
Yes.
All of them?
How do they hibernate, Deanna?
I guess. I don't know. I don't know why they like stumped me for a second. I was like, man, they only got legs though. But
They gotta go in the water. That would really be
I was just
terrible
thinking
if
about those
they
cute
drown.
videos of those turtles eating strawberries. Like, I want that life.
Yeah, but then most likely you're gonna get the life where you get the heat lamp that doesn't work. You get no other turtle, and you're not fed.
But I
on a
get
routinely
constant
manner.
love. Wow, why are you describing like a terrible pet owner?
Well, I'm just describing like ones that, you know, have had the animal for a while. It kind of falls behind their priority list, and they're like, oh crap, I forgot to feed Deanna the turtle again.
Oh. My name would be great for a turtle.
Deanna the turtle.
Yeah.
Tim the turtle.
Yeah, that's actually better.
Yeah, it's got the alliteration,
but
behind
like,
it. It's a little,
and it's funny because it's a
short
human name.
Yeah, your name's not human.
What?
Your name is alien.
It is a human name. It's
I
a
know.
great name. It's not Diana. Although Diana is another person
Diana.
that we are good friends with.
Shoutouts to Diana.
Woo! But yeah, so become a turtle.
Okay.
We could be turtle buds.
Yeah.
Eat leaves together. I'm
Hang
down for
out
that.
on driftwood.
Yeah.
Talk about turtle things.
Like, do we become like? Does our absence become noticed?
That'd be really sad.
I was gonna say, like, do I lose my job?
I mean, that goes without saying.
Oh, that's kind of unfortunate, but
I just figured you would just be put in like an alternate life where you were instead a turtle
I was
for a
thinking
year.
like I'm hoping time stops in my world, and I just am in an alternate universe.
I'm a turtle now.
Yeah.
Ooh-wee. This is real fun.
Or maybe it's like a perpetual dream that I feel like I'm having.
Yeah.
Like I'm actually sleeping, but I actually survive a full year as a turtle.
Yeah, what if you were in a coma for
It's
a
actually
year
funny
and you
too,
dreamt
because
about
technically
being
in
a
my
turtle?
human behaviors class, my spirit animal when we were
Oh, yeah,
guided
that's
on the
right.
spirit thing was a turtle.
That's right.
So I should want to become a turtle.
I didn't get a spirit animal, so I don't know what mine is.
I can guide you. There are step-by-steps online.
No thanks.
It's interesting. Don't
I
know how
know.
much I believe it, but I did see
It's
things
an
based on her
experience.
prompts. So, it's funny.
Maybe that will be a podcast because you don't have to see anything. It's imaginative.
Ooh, I could guide everyone. But,
Everyone can play along. Yeah.
no, we can't do that.
You just have to list off all the animals, like based off. If you see this, then you are this. If you see this, then you are this.
Oh, that sucks.
You just have to.
I'd
do
be
that.
like, Google it.
What do my dreams mean, Deanna? Google it.
Yeah. Well, I think that was successful.
I believe it was.
Covered a lot.
Boom, boom.
I hope everyone has a taste of our music sense now.
Check out any and all of the bands that we mentioned,
Yeah.
and then,
Or make fun of us. We get enough of it. It's fine.
well, don't actively let people make fun of you, Deanna. You leave that to their
You
own
do
devices.
all the
you
time.
do you? Yeah, not about my
Oh, music.
preferences and tastes.
Yeah.
Just on the character that I would like them to criticize. Or laugh with me. But hope you enjoyed our very interesting stories. I'll be sure to fill in from now on if I ever go to other concerts what other important people I run into. We didn't talk about the time at Warped Tour that I ran into Soupy, the lead singer of the Wonder Years.
Yeah.
Or
Well, a lot of the
Didn't talk
experiences
about-
are the same where it's like, I'm walking by. I saw him, and I was like, yo. And then...
well, that one, yes, we were at Warped Tour and he was walking by. But then I didn't talk about the time that I ran into Derek from State Champs
by the trash
at
can.
Warped Tour again, looking for a trash can.
Yeah.
And I
Tim's
found
got a lot of
help.
luck.
Yeah,
In that regards.
And then meeting Grayscale and Fall River.
Not regards. Yeah.
So there was a lot more things going on. But hopefully the luck hasn't worn off yet.
Not yet.
Cool beans. We'll cut it off here for this episode about music. Hopefully you guys found it mildly interesting to figure out what type of music we like.
Hope you're not sick of hearing our voices yet.
Yeah.
We got a lot
if you
to say.
are, whatever, you'll get used to it. Just keep pushing.
Truck on through.
Yeah.
Gets better. It's like that's season 2, where what is it?
Season
What is it?
2.
Like everyone says, skip season 1 of The Office.
Oh yeah. Well,
Except don't skip season 1 of Us.
Yeah.
You have to watch it. It's important backstory.
Yeah. We establish a lot of lore.
Yeah.
That we do not really reference.
And you're gonna miss all the shout outs if you skip it.
Yes.
Because we're
shout outs too.
Eventually we'll shout out to literally the entire planet, so we won't have to name anyone anymore.
Yeah.
But,
shout out to my Nintendo Switch.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Well, on the next episode we'll discuss something completely different.
Yeah. We'll move on.
Who knows what it could be? It's a mystery.
I don't know. Maybe you'll just have to click on the next one to find out.
All right. Well, that's the long and short of it.
It was really the long of it this time.
Yeah.
Because both of us had long stories.
Very
but
true.
For name's sake.
The long and short.
The long and short of it.
I'm Deanna.
I'm Tim. We'll see you guys on the next one.
Woo!
Stick around. It'll be a doozy, I'm sure. We don't even know what the next one's gonna be.
Nope.
But,
yeah. Stick around anyway.
Yeah, stick around. We'll know by then.
Bye.
Toodles! Yeah.